Now we are going to be talking about list. Let's first create our program. Let's call this lists.py. Lists are very similar to arrays. They can contain any type of variables, and they can contain as many variables as you wish. Lists can also be iterated over, and they are very simple. Here's an example of how to build a list. So here is a variable called numbers. Inside the variable, it contains a list of numbers. List, just like string, can also be sliced. By slice, I mean the value inside of list can be sliced in small parts. You can actually use those values that are inside of the list. So to slice the numbers variable, you gotta put a square bracket after it. And let's say you want to slice this list and to just find the first value inside of a list. The first value inside of a list is a zero, is an index 0, because that's how a Python counts from 0 to infinity. So we're going to say 0. Let's print this. Let's print this sliced list, which returns the value inside of this index. So we're going to run our program, and here it is, 1. Another thing that you have to know about list is that a list returns a new list. So this here will be a new list. It's a complete new list. It's different from this right here. If you want to return a copy, let's comment this out. If you want to return a copy of the list itself, you can actually even put back this number right here because we need to use it. You can just say something like, let's say print, call in the list of the number, and we're going to display all the numbers from the beginning till the end, and we're going to print it. This prints a list, the same list, but it's a complete different list because this here just returns a copy of this list. So if you want to copy this list, this is a way of copying the list. The list also supports concatenation, meaning putting things together or gluing things together. We can take our current list of numbers and we can concatenate or glue it together by creating a list right beside it with other numbers. So now we created a list to up to 6. Now we're going to go 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if we print this, the two lists got combined together, which is called concatenating. So lists can also be concatenated just like strings. One of the very few things that are different from list to string is that in a string, you cannot change the value inside of it. So we have our number. Let's say we want to change this number 3 here and to number 7. So what you gotta do is you write in the actual list, you put in this bracket. So this number 3 here is actually on index 0, 1, 2. It's on index 2. So we're going to type in 2. And then we're going to say equal, we want it to be number 7. So it's number 7. Now the value inside of this is going to change to 7. We're going to print the list again, the list of numbers. We're going to print it again. And we're going to see the differences. As you can see, the number 3, 1, 2, the 3 turns into a 7 because we changed the number 3 into a number 7. You can also add new items in the end of the list by using an append method. If you want to append or add a number at the end of the list, all you gotta do is call in a method that comes in with all of the list. So we write numbers that append, number that append, and then we append whatever number that you want to append at the end of the list. Let's say you want to add number 101 at the end of this list. So you just type in numbers dot append. Inside the bracket, you type in the number or the string that you want to add inside of your list. And now we're going to just simply print it out. We just have to print our number list again, a full list, to see that this has been appended at the end of the list. Here you go. So it has been appended at the end of the list or added at the end of the list. If you want to check the length of a list, all you have to do is simply type in len right beside the variable that contains the list, and it's going to print out how many items are inside the list, which is 7. Another possibility is we can actually create a list that contains other lists inside of it. So let's create another list called numbers 2 equals, inside of the list, we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 57, 8, 9. And then we're going to create a mixed list, which equals a list containing both of those lists. So with numbers and numbers 2. Now we're going to print out the mixed list to see how it looks like. And here's our mixed list. We created a list that has 2 lists inside of itself. So let's say we have a bunch of fruits. An apple, an orange, a banana, a kiwi, so we have a list of fruits over here. If we want to add more fruits, all we gotta do is simply fruits, type in fruits, and then we append a value, the value that we want. So we want to add a pear per se, and now our new list is going to be fruits. So we're going to print this out. So the pear got appended at the end of the list. And if you want to remove an item inside of a list, what we can do is just type in fruits dot remove. Let's say you want to remove the kiwi. You just type in the actual string value of kiwi, which is, it should be exactly the same thing as this one here. And now we're going to print our fruits again. And the kiwi has disappeared from our list, but the pear has been appended inside of a list. We can also insert an item in a given position. So if you want to add an item in a given position or an index, let's say this is index 0, index 1, you want something to, a different fruit to be inside of this area here or location, we can actually use a method that comes with list, which is fruits dot insert. We're going to insert. The first value is the index in which you want to change. Index number 1. So we're going to type in 1, and then we're going to type in the value that we want inside of that section. Now we want to re-add kiwi, but we're going to re-add kiwi inside of this index right here. Now let's print in our value of fruits, and we're going to see all the fruits that are contained in our new list. As you can see, the kiwi has been added and it pushed the orange into the next index, and the kiwi is now on index 1. If you had no clue where one of the fruits were inside of your list, if you want to find out in which index your fruit is actually inside of the list, all you gotta do is type in fruits and then type in index, and inside the index you type in the value that you want to find. Let's say you want to find banana, so you type in banana, and there is going to return the index where banana is located, which is 3. So let's count right here. 0, 1, 2, 3. So here it is, 3. Now if we had another banana or another item which is exactly the same thing inside of a list, if you want to find that specific item, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add another banana inside of a list. So we're going to add banana. We're going to insert a banana at the end. If you want to insert a banana at the end, we're just going to append it. We're going to append a banana right at the end. Banana. So we run a program again. it's still going to tell you 3. But if you wanna find a banana that at the end of the program, what you have to do is actually tell it to find the banana after the number 3. So if you want to find the banana after number 3, we're going to type in the banana after index number 3, which is 4. And then we're going to run a program. And here you go. It's telling you there's another banana at index number 5. If you want to know how many times an item appears inside of your list, all you gotta do is call in the count function, and it's going to tell you how many times the item has been put inside of the list. So we just go to fruits.count, and then over here you type in the fruit that you want, banana. Okay, and now we're going to print put inside your list, which is 2, because we did add 2 bananas inside of our list. Another easy way to make a copy of your list is to simply type in fruits.copy. This will create a copy of your list. Another function that comes in handy is reverse. You can actually reverse the items that are inside of your list. So you simply have to type in fruits.reverse. Reverse, which is a function right here. And this here is going to reverse the items that are inside of your list. So now we're going to print our fruits and see in what order are they now stored. So let's go and press play. So here you go. Now let's go back to our list. Apple was number 1. Now apple is the last fruit. Banana was last because we added it right here on the append method. So now banana is first. So that's the reverse method. Another method that's very handy with list is the sort. You may want to sort the list in alphabetic order or numerical order. The list name that sort. Now we gotta print in our new list. A, B, K, O, P. So now it's in order alphabetically. As you can see, it put the banana right beside each other because the first letter here, B, is equal to the same the first letter here, B. If you want to remove an item in a given position inside your list and return it, you have to use a function called pop. So here we're going to pop. If we just leave it empty, pop is going to pop the last item of your list, which is pair right here. It popped this item on your list. But if you want an item to pop from a certain index, all you gotta do is put in the index number, let's say 2, and then it's going to pop banana, which is now on index number 2, 0, 1, 2. So it took this out of the list. And if you want to see what happens after you pop an item inside of a list, let's just do it without first and see. The pair should disappear inside of your list because you popped it. So now we're going to print out fruits again. As you can see, the pair doesn't exist in our list anymore because we popped it out outside of our list. The easiest way to delete a list is just to type in del, and then you type in your list. Our list is a list of fruits. And now, when we're going to print in our list, our fruits should not exist. As you can see, fruits is not defined. It's giving us an error because we have deleted fruits. We can also use this function to delete certain items inside of the list. So if you want to delete the first item inside of the list, you just type in delete 0, and now when you print the fruits, it's going to print the list and it's going to remove the one on index 0.